Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the bishops and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect. I am the brother Chaya from GMS St. Indianapolis, the branch of Indiana. The original Gary campus, GMS It Will Not Tarry 2. And this is a response to the video on screen from Apostle Tahar. His page, what is the 66 Mark II GMS Truth? Esau has zero spiritual discernment when it comes to understanding the scriptures. Yeah, he got I'm going to double down and say he has a negative spiritual discernment, a -1, all right? Because this guy, which I don't got to play the video, but the title says, Wes Huff says the Most High was wrong about multiple wives, right? So I'm just going to hop right into the lesson. Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, right? So the nerve of an Edomite, first of all, the nerve of anybody, but the nerve of Esau, Edom in particular, to say anything about the scriptures, right? Because here it is, there's multiple, wait a minute, let's deal with this. The Most High was wrong about multiple wives, but what does the scripture says, right? You know what, I'm about to deal with this for a second. Let me deal with this real quick. All right. What is this? 2 Samuel 2. Or is it 1 Samuel? 1 Samuel 2. All right. And 3. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. That's what's happening. That's what's, you see these devils? It says, for the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. So the Most High know what the fuck he doing. All right? He said, be fruitful and multiply. He said he created the world not in vain. He created it to be inhabited. All right? And you could do that profoundly with multiple wives. All right? That's the setup he got. All right? So what you going to do? You're going to tell all the animals in the animal kingdom that deal with more than one woman, more than one wife, all right? More than one female, that's wrong. Now the scripture speaks about there's different natures. There's different natures of animals, different natures of beasts. Well, there's human nature too. And the nature of an Edomite is the devil. See, that's the devil. Esau, Edom, a so-called white man, is the devil. To even dare say something like that. Because multiple wives has been a thing, has always been a thing in the earth. All right, that ain't went nowhere. There's always been a thing in the earth. All right, but being a hobo sex sickle, right? That ain't been it ain't been to this magnitude. It happened. You know, you got Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, you got different instances, right? Pompeii, different historical instances, right? But it has never been pushed the way it's pushed now. And the Bible directly speaks against that. But what does Christianity have to say about it? White Christianity, so-called the black church, nobody say nothing about that. And the Bible supremely denounces that. Old Testament, New Testament, Apocrypha. Remember Sodom and Gomorrah. Look, let's see how many times Sodom in the Bible, 57 times. Let's read some of these New Testament scriptures. on Sodom. Matthew 10:15, verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Right, because when judgment day come, when the Lord come, it's going to be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, the destruction. Because this place is more wicked than Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? Let's get, what is that? 2 Peter 2:6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after shall live ungodly. What's the example? An example, right? So this is the result. Sodom and Gomorrah, what happened, that was the result of the actions they was committing. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction, right? But back to the point I was saying, the Christians won't say nothing about nothing about that. Where the Bible directly tells you, all right? He said the Most High was wrong about man having more than one wife. When here it is, the man. So what's the use of a man being able to make sperm cells for fucking the majority of his life? The window for a woman to be pregnant is from puberty to about 35, 40. So you're talking about a woman's window to get pregnant is about 25 years. All right, roughly about 25. She got 25 years to get pregnant. Now, is she gonna bring forth a baby every year? She gonna have 25 kids. You got some instances, some rare cases where a woman or a couple might have had 18 kids, 15 kids, children. It used to be more so back in our grandparents' years. You would hear about 10 children, 12 children, maybe one died. My grandmother was, it was 9 of them, but my great-grandmother had 11 in total. 2 of them didn't make it. But 9 came and lived to adulthood and reproduced and, right? So you don't always have that. All right? So a woman got 25 years, roughly, to bring forth children, right? From about puberty to menopause. But a man, then this is what the science say. All right? They say a man stopped reproducing sperm and, totally around 90. Right? So from puberty to 90 is roughly about 75 years. All right? And most men in America, on average, especially so-called black men, don't make it to 75. Let alone goddamn 90. So here it is, you got one sex, the male sex, that can reproduce for the bulk of its lifetime. Then you got the other one that can reproduce for about a third or less than a third of their lifetime. And also too, you start getting older. The female body, as it ages, it produces weaker children. All right, the body is weaker. The female body start breaking down around 25 or so. All right, and that's the bones are not as strong. Different little things, but men have like a second wind, so to speak. You got like they call it grown man strength. That's actually a real thing, because you don't get your full, I'm not mistaken on this, you don't get your full wind capacity as a man until your late 20s, early 30s. But anyway, I'm gonna grab another. Yeah. I sound like Charleston White. But yeah, you back to another example, right? You got men and women, whatever, right? Now, women outnumber men. Okay, women outnumber men. So you mean to tell me that in the perfect world, right? If every man had one woman, then 90% of the female population would have to die. Like if everything was done the way they say it's supposed to be done, right? Oh, one woman is supposed to be with one man, and that's it. Okay, so what about all the rest of the women? So they just get to live and work. They just part of the workforce. They can't, no first kiss, no first time, no baby. All right, no one to love, no one to take care of them. 90% of the female population will have to die because some Edomite Christians say and push forth that man and one man is supposed to be with only one woman. Ain't enough men to go around. Let me grab this scripture right here. And see, matter of fact, I ain't got to get that. And see, it's one thing for them to say, for one thing for them to try to, manipulate and say, man, supposed to be with one woman, etc. But then it's another thing for him to say, God, he said, this dude said God was wrong. All right? Nigga, what? You got to get with the program. The Most High don't get with your program. All right, let me grab something real quick. That's the Edomite. That's the Edomite for you. If you don't agree with the scriptures, just leave the scriptures alone. But see, the devil got to try to bend everything into his will. Nah. This is Isaiah 40 and 13. Who have directed the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, or being his counselor, have taught him? With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him, and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and showed to him the way of understanding? See, a devil would dare speak in this direction. There's no counsel. Hold on. Let me see something. Oh, let me find this. There is no counsel. Proverbs 21 and 30. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You see, you know what happens? You know what happens when you go against the word and you live against what the Bible says, everything. You know what happens? You know what the result of that is? Death. Now, what do I mean by that? Things malfunction. All right? Look at it as having a manual to a vehicle. Here it is. You got the vehicle. It comes with the manual. It tell you what to do, how to service it, when to service it, where to service it. That's what the Bible is to the Israelite man. To mankind, really, but starting with the Israelite man. All right? See, you can go around it, the manual. You can rig it, right? But in the end, you're going to pay for it. It's just like when you're young and you eat whatever you want. Now your ass old. Your body can't metabolize certain shit. Now you fat. Damn, I should have just went by the manual. Yeah. See? Now look at the result. Now look at a depressed, decayed society, right? What's that? Isaiah 24. And something, and it'd be the most simplest things. It'll seem. Verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. Languisheth means droop. All right. You know, like an old person when they back crooked over because they old, they not in their full strength. That's what the world is. It's not in its full strength. All right. And the individuals, everybody drooping. All right. Pressed down with the weight of iniquity. It says, the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Right. And so now a lot of these women, they bisexual. Men and women both. But you'll catch more women, and it's been like that for a while now. So instead of one woman, instead of a man having more than one woman, no, that's not right. A man's supposed to have one woman, and the rest of you women, y'all supposed to have a collection of toys and vibrators and to stimulate you and keep you happy, or another woman, or a dog, or a cat. That's what you get. Well, that's indirectly that's what he's saying, because that's what's going on. That's what happens. That is an ever-evolving industry. These sex toys, these female sex toys, ever increasing, ever evolving. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So here it is. You can be polyamorous. You can threesomes. You can be a hobosexual, right? But the buck stops here. Enough is enough when a man had more than one woman. All right. The Most High was wrong about that. But the Most High wasn't wrong about but what say you about homosexuality? See? Verse 6. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Yeah, it's gonna be like Sodom and Gomorrah, and only a remnant gonna be saved. All right. So let me finish that. Let me jump over here. Second Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed. No, I want to start up. Second Thessalonians 2 and 4. It says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God. So whatever the Bible say, he go against that. All right. And now I've never heard a comment akin to this. You know, if I have, I can't recall it. God was wrong. Those three words, that phrasing don't even sound right. Right? See, the Lord gonna do something to that fucking devil who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple, showing himself that he is God. No, I'm right. It's supposed to be like this. This is how you do it. The Most High was wrong about the way he created the animals. So we gotta genetically modify them. He was wrong about these seeds, these tomatoes, and mixing seeds. So we gotta mix them together and genetically modify them. See, he says that in how he governs and runs the earth. all the way down from the animals to the plants to the people to nature itself. All right. I'm gonna jump to verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed. But now he being revealed. Because he been doing this shit for a long time. He been restructuring and reshaping society as the technology allowed. Because all this GMO shit, this shit is old. And before the technology was catching up, he was working on the minds of the people, how they thought. He was working on societal norms, what was normal, just breaking shit down. And as technology increased, he added that to help further his diabolical plan, right? And he was doing it, and he was doing it in secret. All right. Few knew about it. Those who did know about it, they wrote books, but they couldn't get it out there like that until the internet. Well, until the apostles and elders, they came and they used the and their elders before them, see, they pointed the finger, but they pointed the finger with the Bible. See, and that's the difference. See, these other people, they would point the finger, but they were just pointing from a perspective of right and wrong, a perspective of science or knowledge, just information, right? But the men of the Lord, they pointed the finger with the Bible being the directive, and that's the power, all right, and that's the spirit, right? And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. So they're being consumed, all right, with the spirit of the Lord's mouth, which that is the prophets shaking the hand, all right, telling you about yourself, declaring your way to your face, like it says in Job, who shall declare his way to his face, and who shall punish him for what he has done? See, that's how it go. I'm reading 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So you get revealed and then you get destroyed. You get exposed and then you get punished, right? Or you get your like you go to court. All right. The case is stacked against you, the evidence is presented, and then the judgment. All right. Let me grab the Job. Job 21 and 31. Who shall declare his way to his face? Matter of fact, maybe I can start up a little bit. Right. Job 21 and 29. Have ye not asked them that go by the way? And do ye not know their tokens? And who are them that go by the way? The prophets. All right. Ezekiel 13 says, ye have not gone into the gaps to make up the heads for the children of people to the day of destruction. The false prophets ain't done that. The real prophets have went in the gaps. The real prophets are on the highways and the byways. All right. So you can ask. All right. The prophets, Jeremiah 28 and 8. The prophets before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and kingdoms. All right. You're supposed to be prophesying against a country and a kingdom, man. Amongst other things. But hey, war, rumor, pestilence, violence. Hey, that's a core structure of the job of a prophet. Because that's what's coming. Prophecy means to say before, all right, that always come before a kingdom fall. All right, and do you not know their tokens? Yeah, token signs. Over here on the right side, the NIV, verse 29. Have you never questioned those who travel? Have you paid no regard to their accounts? Right. Have you paid no regard to the accounts of what Esau doing? Or what the prophet's telling you as well. You got to pay attention to what they do, their accounts. Everything that they do points to them being the ungodly of the earth. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. That's why he's allowed to go so long, all right, without being punished and to keep committing iniquity against the Most High because he's reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his way to his face? And who shall repay him what he have done? I'll read that in the NIV on the right side. Who denounces their conduct to their face? We do. We denounce their conduct to their face, right? Like Wisdom of Solomon says, he upbraideth us with our offending of the law. And Wisdom of Solomon too. They go against the Bible and we get on them about that. Who repays them for what they have done? The Most High. All right. So anyway, matter of fact, I'm going to actually go to that page. I want to see I would like to see the comments on that. Damn devil. And ain't no telling these. Anyway, with that, Lord's will, this was the edifying lesson. Hopefully, elect all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudah Shalom.